If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I always say I've got a link in the description if you want to have your home toured. Well, George was the first person to ever actually take me up on that. So I made the drive down to Omaha, and today we're checking out his home, and we're just talking about smart home tech, home security. We're having a great time, so come along on the journey with us. Here he's got the new MyQ video garage opener, so you can use this as a keypad. You can call, open the garage, and it's got a camera so you can see who's coming and going. George is a big Apple guy, and so he's got one of the few options that is available for video doorbells that uses Apple Home Secure Video. So this is the Aqara. I again did a great video on that, but it's got the sensor there, nice camera, big button, and this one is going to be battery powered actually. Let's go inside. One thing that we were discussing is since they are renting this place right now, they weren't able to actually change out the lock. So what they've done here is they've gone with the level lock. This is the one that has Apple Key, so they can just hold their key up to it. It's gonna replace the internals only. And so we've got this round style deadbolt portion. We talked about this and he agrees that the annoying thing with this is that since we're both in cold climates, this round style sometimes isn't going to line up quite right with the jamb, and so you're going to get a lot of like where it jams up, and so little minor annoyance. I did talk him into getting the Schlage & Code Plus for his next place at dinner last night, so look forward to that upgrade. Schlage & Code Plus is the way to go. Here we have a variety of Aqara sensors as well as Eve sensor, so it's kind of funny that we've got both there, but obviously doing different things. As we go through the property, I've really noticed that we've got a lot of like covers on all the switches. So they're using smart bulbs throughout, and then motion sensors. And so we've got those covered up so people like me don't turn off the power to the bulb and then they would lose connectivity. Throughout the house, we're gonna notice a lot of really cool wall art with lighting. And then the other thing is that he's got all these smart bulbs. So a lot of them are Philips Hue, but some of them are different brands, and he's got it synced up so it works seamlessly. Again, we've got more of the Aqara cameras and the little sensors here. And then this is actually a multi-level unit, and so we've got a whole lot of Roborocks. I love Roborock, but this little guy here is actually just mopping this little entry space. I love all the different art that they've got throughout their space and how they're tying in the smart home technology to just kind of like accentuate or highlight the different art. So we were just talking about how awesome this art piece is, and you were saying how your dad actually painted this.
Yeah, my dad had an art gallery in New York, and I don't know, later in his life he stopped painting, but I don't know why, because he was great at it. And yeah, it's actually on my arm. So it's been in my living room. It was painted in 1969. I have an awesome picture of my mom sitting outside his art gallery eating an ice cream cone with this in the window. Huh. And it's fantastic. So yeah, it's been floating around since '69, and I proudly display it everywhere we live.
So when I watched your last tour, I had made a comment that your car is actually using the brilliant control over here. Yeah. It has its own control. It seems a bit excessive to me.
It does. I spend a lot of time in here. Being a renter downtown here, this is the first place we've had down here that was a garage. So I've kind of reverted back to my suburb days. And so I do, with the business and stuff, I just do a lot of work in here. So I use that for my Sonos control. I use it for my thermostat. But yeah, I actually use it more than you would think. Awesome. But so one of my smart home things in my garage, you gotta have something.
And then we'll go into this lower level area, which is actually using it as an office. We've got the cool lighting with the Apple HomePods for stereo. And then of course, Apple TV. It's actually mounted way down there. I like these box enclosures that he has. And then over here, we got more smart lighting. It looks really nice. Pan through the room, we'll see. Every wall has got like that really cool lighting. So how much would you say you have into Nanoleaf strips on the wall?
Well,
this is quite the collection.
I went a little overboard, and I actually have some.
What? You went overboard on something?
I have some sitting in the box that are being unused, which is like blasphemy, but I don't know, it's a lot.
Nice.
Between that and the skins. I mean, the skins, you gotta buy those separately. So,
okay, I suppose. They look way better though with the skin.
They do.
That looks really cool.
It does. I just really like the lines, the way it bounces off instead of projects out. That's my favorite thing. They're my favorite by far. Pretty much of any smart lighting I've tried.
His desk is extremely clean. I'm very jealous. I'm not really ever able to show my full office because it's always just so messy, guys. But check out this Magnus desk and the cool effect that it has. Yeah,
so this is my battle station. So I got my 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which is the newest one with the M2 chip, I believe. And then I'm using my MacBook Pro. I've got a Mac Studio that's on its way back to me. I briefly traded that in for a MacBook Air, which I wasn't a big fan of. So that's coming back to me. But right now I'm running it all on my 14-inch MacBook Pro. And then that's the Apple display. Do all my editing here. I love Final Cut Pro on the iPad. I think a lot of people are kind of 50-50 on that, but I've been loving it. And run Silverhammer here as well.
Here, again, another Roborock. And so when that doesn't get the job done, then we've got the Dyson there just on standby, ready to go anytime. So when you've got a big space like this, multi-levels, it's good to have good Wi-Fi coverage throughout. So he's using the Orbi mesh network, and he's got it mounted on the wall. It looks very clean. It's really helping with all these different devices he has that are connected via Wi-Fi. Some are connected via Zigbee, and so we're going to see a lot of different Akara hubs across the property. I've honestly never seen so many brilliant control panels in my life. Here we've got just the single gang. Upstairs we've seen the 2 gang as well as 3 gang. So really cool to have that. He's primarily using it for music control as well as some lighting, but it's nice to be able to just like see the time and weather updates and stuff as you're just walking throughout the property, and it looks really clean. Again, more sensors. So everywhere I go throughout the property, the lights are just turning on automatically. I've got Philips Hue here, a little Hue sensor as I'm coming up the stairs. So at the property like this, it's really nice to use this Ecobee thermostat. With Ecobee, you can use the different sensors throughout the property that detects occupancy as well. And so it's going to set the temperature based on the room that you're in, as well as averaging all the rooms that you're using. I really like this theater setup here with the TV or the lights behind it. It just looks really cool. He's using the HomePods here in stereo mode for the speakers. He's got Dyson in the corner there. A very silent operation, so it's not interrupting anything. But over here in the command center, as I like to call it, he's got his brilliant controls, so he can do the music and all that stuff. But he's also got this mounted charging spot with MagSafe, so he can have his iPhone, his watch right there, while he's sitting here enjoying TV. And then on the other side, we've actually got a Pico remote that was used for Sonos control, but now they've actually switched to the HomePod, so that one's not in use, but it's cool the way they mounted it here. It's just right on the wall, and so you could do music control without having to pull out your phone. So you switch from Sonos to Apple and
70,000 times.
What's going on there?
The HomePods, well, first of all, I was waiting for the full-size ones because the minis just weren't doing it for me for TV audio. They were fine for music, but I wanted the Dolby Atmos and the spatial audio. So that's what Sonos kept giving me. So I would try the minis just because I wanted to be all Apple, and then I kept going back to Sonos because they had the AirPlay 2. But I like the features of the HomePods where it automatically shows up on your phone for the remote. Mm-hmm. And Sonos wouldn't do that, so I was just always torn. I just kept going back and forth. And then when these came out, I was all excited, and it went pretty well at first. But then when I got up to about 10, they started to fail me. And Sonos is just so flawless. So then I went back to Sonos for a while, but now that we're moving, I'm able to scale this down to 7, and it's working pretty well.
So you've got it set up as a stereo pair here in this room.
Yeah.
Very nice. There's a ton of tech here in the kitchen. It's not all smart, but there are a lot of really cool gadgets to play with. I really like his toaster. I believe that's from Revolution. And then he's got an iPad that he's using for control over there. It's got a little mount. And just, yeah, it's a cool space. I like the little grow lab here as well. You get fresh salads.
So that's lettuce.
Nice.
Teresa harvested her first one 2 days ago. I'm trying to think when we installed those. Probably a month ago. But yeah, it worked pretty well.
So you're going right here, grabbing the ranch, putting it right on the leaf and eating it that way?
Yeah, and the light anyway is in HomeKit, which is cool. But that's how it caught my eye in the Apple store. I was just perusing anything at HomeKit, and there it was, and thought it looked cool. It's been pretty cool. So we don't have this as smart as we'd like. I'd like to switch out all the appliances. If we were staying here, I would. But we use our 11-inch iPad Pro for our smart display. We got the Revolution Smart Toaster, which I freaking love. You can switch your bread type. You can decide if it's fresh, frozen, or reheat. You got your levels. You got a gluten-free option. But I love the touchscreen on that. That thing, for a toaster, you'd be surprised how excited it gets me. We just did a video on this on our channel, the Arkin water filtration system. So it's nice that it's portable. You don't have to change your plumbing. You don't have to do anything, and it gives you about the purest water you can get. So I've really enjoyed this.
We are behind the scenes at the Silver Hammer studio.
Yeah, and this is our YouTube studio, as we discussed. You know, normal people would use this as their living room. We turn it into a studio. So this is where we film. This is our backdrop. This is my unboxing table. You know, we've got some LG little smart TVs there, those 24 inches, but they're smart and they're ran with Apple TV 4Ks. My Apple collection, my box collection. Most of that is still presently owned, but some of it's old school. Got a Dyson fan there. Use smart plugs for these lights for recording automation. Got my Grid Studio art over there, which is always cool art, tech art. The iPhone 4S over there taken apart. That was the first iPhone with Siri, so that's why I picked that. And then the first Apple Watch. Below that, I got the new S8 from Roborock.
Everything in your house is clean.
I'm all about
organized.
cable. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm a little bit of a neat freak, and definitely a freak about cable management.
Yeah, it's on point. Very on point.
Like even that ball.
Even for rental situation too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're not a homeowner, so you can't just be putting holes in the wall for everything. So we got a stoplight with the Hue retrofit inside.
Yeah, that was in my aunt's yard. That is a railroad stoplight from Detroit. And as a kid, I was just always fascinated with it. She had it on a pole in her backyard by her pool. And so yeah, she gave it to me. And she's a breast cancer survivor. And this is actually from my wife's brother, who is also a cancer survivor. So this is like our cancer survivor shrine. We lost Teresa's brother, but my aunt's still alive. But yeah, I put hues in there, make it smart. And so this is all very special to me. Teresa's brother welded this holder for me. And then she gave me that, and I painted it and put the hues in.
We've got our Watley chairs
here. The
here.
Watley chairs.
I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to reserve that. So in your new place, Shane, you need to come visit.
Yep.
I don't know which one's reserved for him, but
yeah, I'm not sure either. Teresa would have to tell us. Teresa came up with that.
It fits the space well. I like it. So very nice. Well, onwards and upwards.
Yes.
Guys, if you remember back when we toured the Savant home in October of last year, that's actually when I started growing this facial hair out. And that was in honor of Men's Health, to create awareness, not only for George and his story, but I've also had friends that have been affected by testicular cancer and certainly suicide. And so happy that people were reaching out. Maybe put a comment below, let me know how it looks. But while you're doing that, let's go over and show George some love, thank him, and encourage him on this journey that he's on. And so super excited that we were able to come visit with him and meet him and Teresa, and just guys, go show the love and support over on his channel. His tours get a lot of views. I think it's because his properties are so unique. They're down here in downtown Omaha, and so just unique architecture, and then also he's just all in on all of his products. And so this is a man who does not half-ass anything. All right, so you've got the fancy plate cover here over the switch to prevent me from turning the light on and off, but you have a button here.
Yes, but the button is for security, not lights, so that's my excuse.
Okay, we'll let it slide. I do like that everywhere we go around the house, we've got the sensors. We've got like the Hue one there, and they're in there. But my like natural reaction is to reach for the light switch, and I'm like, oh, there's a cover. Which it's good that you have this, because I totally would have turned things off. And I'm a smart home guy, so I can only imagine with like
it's only a natural instinct.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden you're killing power, and your smart bulbs don't work.
Teresa's pretty much like, she just doesn't even know where the light switches are. So she just, from the moment we moved in, she just never even worried about it.
Nice.
So I really don't even have to have those on there, because it's really just her and I. Yeah, and then this upper floor is all about our bedrooms. Teresa uses one for a closet, one for her office. Then we got the master bedroom. In here, we've got another HomePod. We got another LG Gallery Edition OLED, Apple TV 4K. It's another Roborock Q5. Then we've got the Dyson in there. That's the one that also senses not only normal air purification, but also formaldehyde, which is unique to that one. And it's also got a humidifier on the bottom, which the rest of ours do not. That was actually a cancer thing. So that helped me this winter. And then a Schwinn bike, which I'll say is smart till my last breath, because that's featured in the Apple Fitness Studio. And then we've got Twinkly. I think that's called the Twinkly Flex. I'm horrible about that name. And then behind you got the Twinkly Squares.
How many robot vacuums do you have right now?
We have 3 Q5s, and we have the S7 Ultra, Max Ultra, and the S8.
Okay.
And so the S8 is on our hardwood floors, and we have the Ultra down on our hardwood floors, and then we have the Q5s on everything that's carpet.
Okay, so you're looking at like 5,000 to 6,000 in robot vacuums.
Yeah.
I too am a big Roborock fan, though.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it for time savings alone.
Absolutely. And Teresa was just talking about it the other day, how much she started to appreciate them. Like at first, she didn't even think twice about it, but now she really loves them. Like, just does the job for us.
Yeah.
Although I am the neat freak in the household, so I am the cleaner. But they saved me a ton of time, that's for sure.
And I would say that like the self-emptying bin is so game-changing. Like,
oh yeah.
The vacuums have come so far from like the original like Roomba that would just like bounce all around and get stuck in corners and eat cords and fall down the stairs.
Yeah, or it'd just be stuck for somewhere and you'd never be able to find it. It's in the basement somewhere. Yeah.
I appreciate that your lighting is consistent and across brands and for control and everything. So it's just like you wouldn't be any of the wiser as an outsider. You would think that, that's all Philips Hue.
Right.
When in reality, it's not. So
3 different brands,
So how did you achieve that?
I just did that with automations. So I just put it all in as a group and with HomeKit or Apple Home and just ran it as an automation.
And so that's where the color control is and everything? Okay.
Yep.
And you find the bulbs are pretty close in color?
Yeah.
Of the 16 million colors that there are, they've pinpointed the exact.
Yeah. I find that the lines for Nanoleaf do great and the elements do great, but Nanoleaf bulbs have horrible yellows and horrible greens. So that's why I stick with Hue. I just love their yellows and greens. I mean, you want every color. When I say 16 million colors, you want it to be. But I don't know, Nanoleaf just needs to get the greens and the yellows figured out. But otherwise, I love their bulbs, except for that. I love their white bulbs.
And we'll conclude by checking out the office here. So guys, I really appreciate everything. Thanks for inviting me down. It's been so much fun hanging out.
Thanks for coming, man.
It has been great.
It has been awesome.
If you haven't already, be sure to go subscribe to Silver Hammer Surveillance. George does an awesome job with his channel, and since you're moving soon, we're going to have another tour to look forward to.
End of August.
Yeah, should be good. Well, now you set a deadline.
I'm going to give myself 2 weeks. We're moving August 11th, so I'll give myself at least 2 weeks this time.
All right.
I'll make it happen. It's a smaller place. It'll be much easier than this place.
If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so. In the meantime, check out this playlist I have right here, all the greatest smart home tours across all of YouTube. I've curated this list for you guys, so you don't have to search. Just check out that list. It's gonna be in order from newest to oldest. I update it every single week, and so you're gonna get great ideas from people like George, from Shane. Check it out, Smart Home Tours. Until next time, guys, take care.